No doubt, React provides built-in hooks for various functionalities in our components. But sometimes the logic in our applications become repetitive or complex, especially when we have to perform similar tasks in multiple components. So this is where custom hooks come into picture. Custom hooks in React are reusable functions that encapsulate the logic involving hooks. They allow you to extract and share stateful logic across different components without repeating the code. And it follows a naming convention. You need to start the name of your custom hook with use. We are first going to understand the concept without using the custom hook. So let's get started. I'm going to create a component as toggle button. The example that I'm going to consider is a button can be switched on and off. So let's create the function component. Inside the JSX, I need a button that can be toggled between on and off values and a paragraph that will display that whether the button is on or off. Now all you need is a state variable. So I'm going to use const is on and set is on will be the function. Use useState and the initial value will be false, means the button will be switched off for the very first time your component renders. And let's create a function as toggle button. This function we are going to call when we click on the button. This is an arrow function wherein we will pass set is on and it accepts a callback where we need to pass the previous state and this will return the toggled state, means it will return an opposite state. Let's now call the function on the click of the button toggle button. And the text that should be displayed will be, I'm using the ternary operator, is on. So if this is true, then if it is turned on, then the text will be turn off over the button, or else it will be turn on. Alright, now in the paragraph, we have to show the text. The button is, use the JSX. If it's on, then show the text as on, or else show the text as off. Let's render our component toggle button. And let's take a look at the browser. So the initial state is off. When I click on the button, the state changes to on, while the text over the button changes to the opposite state. The functionality looks pretty well. But imagine if you want to use this functionality in multiple components, then this is where the custom hooks will come into picture. Now I'm going to create a custom hook with the name useToggle.js. Let's create our function component. So now inside this function we need a state variable, value and set value, and whose the initial state will be false. The initial state will be false. Now create a function, toggle, that will allow us to use the set value. We need to pass the arrow function with parameter as the previous state that returns the opposite state. Return only the value and the toggle function. Now we are ready to use this inside our actual component. Now we are ready to use this inside our actual component. You can easily remove this part of your component and instead create a destructuring assignment is toggled and toggle, set the value to useToggle wherein the initial value is false. Now what does this mean? Toggle is the function which is already defined inside the useToggle custom hook, and that's using the set value function which is returning the opposite of the previous state. Further, isToggled is the state which is already set to false. Now what does this mean? isToggled is the current state which is either true or false, and this is the function that toggles the state between true and false, and the function is already there inside the custom hook. You can now utilize this function when the button is clicked. Also use the isToggled state in order to print the text over the button and in the paragraph. Let's take a look on the browser. We'll reload. So when you click on the button, it is on. When you click again, it's off. Quite easy, right? So this way, you can utilize a custom hook inside any component. So now we can even create another component and utilize this custom hook in that. So hence ensuring reusability. Now why use custom hooks? So the first reason is reuse logic. Instead of duplicating code, custom hooks allow you to define the logic once and reuse it across multiple components. They also help in separating and organizing your code within your application. Encapsulate complex logic. If a component has complex or repetitive logic, a custom hook can encapsulate that logic, making the component code simpler and more readable. Now I hope you already have understood the importance of custom hooks. That's all for this video, and stay tuned for the upcoming videos.